Well, it's evening time and we are going to make a block, this block, and we are going to use some charm squares for this and some strips. So I'm just going to show you a couple examples of what we're going to make. And you're going to need 3 5-inch charms. You're going to need 4 of these 2.5-inch by 5-inch strips, okay? And we're going to go ahead and get started on this. It's an easy, quick block. So you're going to take and stick one of your 2.5-inch strips on the top and the bottom of your piece, and then we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we are going to stitch 1/4 inch right down the side. If you like these videos, would you please hit the subscribe button and give us a like and leave a comment? That really helps us out and I so appreciate it. Okay, we've got one done. We're going to do the other side now. Top and bottom pretty much is what you want to do. And 1/4 inch seam allowance. Straight down. This is a really quick block, okay? And we're just going to finger press that to the outside right now. We'll get to the rest of it in a bit here. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside. That's what we have so far, okay? Now you're going to take your 2 5-inch pieces, and you're going to put them right sides together. They're 5-inch squares, and we are going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around, okay? I'll just take a second. And we're done. Okay, we have sewed that all the way around, right sides together. Now we're going to take a ruler. We're just going to go from point to point on the diagonal here, and we're going to go ahead and cut that. And then you can use, if you have a little mat, you can rotate your mat. Otherwise, keep your pieces very tight together, and you're going to go across again, diagonal on the cut on the diagonal. Okay, there we go. We're going to open these up. We're just going to finger press them to the dark side. Then I'll give them a press. I'll give this a little press while I'm over here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and finger press that open to the dark side. We're going to do all of those just the same. You know, you want to be careful because the outside of this square is on the diagonal, is on the bias, and so it'll be stretchy if you're not careful. Okay, I did that one on the wrong way. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to give those a little quick press on the side here, and I will move the camera to show you what I'm doing here in a minute. Okay, now we're going to take this and we are going to square it up to 2.5 inches. So we're going to put our diagonal line from our ruler right there, and we want 2.5 inches. Okay, we're just going to trim that off. You can save that in your scrap pile if you like to do little bits and pieces. You can do that. If you like to crumb quilt. I am not a crumb quilter. That doesn't thrill me, but to each his own, right? Okay. There we go. Get this one. 2.5 inches on the diagonal. And give it a quick cut. We just have one more to do. 2.5 inches on the diagonal. Make sure you line that up on your diagonal, and then you'll have a nice square there. Don't slip with your ruler there, girly. There we go. Let me get this side and check it here. Looked a little uneven. 2.5. There we go. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay. Not much coming off there. Okay, now I'm just going to cut these dog ears off real quick. And we will have this block whipped out in just a few minutes. You'll be surprised. And you can have a lot of fun. You can dig your scraps out. You can use old jelly rolls. You can use leftover charm pack pieces that you have, or you can cut 5-inch strips and 2.5 by 5-inch strips, 5-inch squares. Okay, here we go. Now we've got this block, and we're going to lay out the rest of this. We're going to put this one here, obviously, and this one here. And then we're going to decide, do we want the black on the inside or the black on the outside? There's that. Or we could go with this. And I think I'm going to like it with the dark on the inside, but yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm just going to turn those so that they are facing into the center of the block. And we're going to take this and fold it down, and we're going to stitch right across the top there, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, turn it down. We're going to stitch right across the top there, line your edges up, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. Now we've got these, and we're going to go ahead and fold this bottom piece up, stitch, line your edges up, and stitch 1/4 inch across there. Same with this one. We're going to line it up, make sure it's facing the way you want it. And we're going to line those edges up and stitch 1/4 inch. And just like that, those sides are done. Okay. Now, since we have pressed this going out, we're going to press this one going in. And what that's going to do is it's going to let us nest our seams. So I know I'm out of camera range here, just pressing this real quickly to show you. Okay, so that'll go like that. And this one will go like this. Okay. So we've pressed towards the orange fabric here, and we've pressed towards the orange fabric in the center, and we've pressed towards the orange fabric on the side. Now we're going to nest these. We're going to turn this over this way, and you're going to see that the seams go in opposite directions, and they're going to nest just perfectly. You can feel them, and just tuck a little pin in there. Now, when you're pinning, don't pin right in the seam. You want to pin next to it. When you pin in the seam, it distorts that seam when the machine goes over the pin. So don't do that. You can put it right next to it and you'll have the same effect. Okay, now we're going to go 1/4 inch seam allowance down that edge. Okay. And we'll cut. Okay. We've got that. And when we press this, we're going to press it going into the center. Okay, so this is going to fold over like this. Again, we'll be able to nest our seams. I don't know if you can see that, but those seams, if you rolled it back, you can see it just roll right up there and it's nested. And you can feel it. When you pinch it with your fingers, you can feel that it's right up next to the other one, because there's like a little ridge that it'll catch on. So once you've got that, you will have a perfect little join there. Okay, we're going to stitch this last seam and our block will be done. I will give you the dimensions again on this block. You need a 5-inch square for your center, and you will need 2 5-inch squares to create these half square triangles. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera so you can see me press this. Hopefully, let's see if I can get that over just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're just pressing that in to the center, and we are good. And there's our block. Okay, so again, you need a 5-inch square for your center. You're going to need 2 5-inch squares of contrasting fabric for your half square triangles. You're going to put those together, and you're going to sew all the way around them and then cut them on the diagonal both directions. You're going to need 4 pieces that measure 2.5 inches by 5 inches. So they're going to go on the sides of your 5-inch square. Now these half square triangles are going to be oversized purposely, because if you're a beginning quilter, you want to have room to trim it down so it's precise and exact, okay? So when you get your half square triangles made, you use your ruler that has a diagonal on here. You'll see it says 45 degrees. This says 45 degrees right here on this. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can put my hand behind it. And yeah, I think you can see that. There's a 45 degree on your ruler when it has a diagonal like that. And you're going to want to line up your diagonal seam on that 45 degree. And then you find your 2.5 inch. And you will cut your 2.5 inch, okay? So you'll cut your 2.5 inch square, and that will meet up with these pieces just perfectly. Okay, I hope that was fun for you. Please remember to subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment. I love to get your feedback. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.